Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is Joakim, back again with another video. And in this one, I was thinking about showing you all of my movies, Blu-rays, DVDs, 4K. And it's a collection that I've been working on for a very long time. I made an update years ago. I think it's 3 years ago now. And I just want to update you on what I've collected and everything, and the things that as a minimalist I still hold very dear. And yeah, I just think that just being a minimalist and everything doesn't necessarily mean that you have to deprive yourself of something that you really love. And I, for one, really love movies and TV series. So in this one, I'm going to show you what I got. So I'm going to try to go through this as alphabetical as possible. I'll start off with my TV shows that I've collected. First up is Avatar, The Legend of Aang. And this series is something that is my childhood, my young youth, and my forever. This series is from Nickelodeon originally, and yeah, it's always been there. It's a great series. It's great for all ages. And I've read the graphic novels that comes and takes place after it to bridge it with the series that follows it, which is, of course, The Legend of Korra. Say what you will about Legend of Korra, but I like it for what it is. It's funny. It does have a lot of new original characters, but you also get the legacy characters from the previous series. We're also getting new material now, and I'm not only talking about the Netflix live action series, but we're actually going to make a sort of in-between movie between these two series. So highly recommend these series, and I highly recommend you just checking out the graphic novels as well, actually, because they're kind of great. Yeah, so that's A. I'm counting Korra as that as well as Avatar. Now let's go into the B's. Or no, oh my god, I can't jump this title. This here is the Attack on Titan anime series. This specifically is the box set for the final season, part 1 and 2. It's actually the last 4th season is almost split up in 4 parts, depending on how you see it. But in this box set here, I have the first 3 seasons in a steelbook case. And yeah, I've had this series in a lot of renditions. Blu-ray originally, and maybe DVD at one point. And now I have the steelbooks. That's just because I love this series so much. It's my most favorite anime out there. And each of these different steelbook cases have one of the 3 depicted walls within the anime series on them. They are releasing a 4th season steelbook soon. I'm gonna grab that, but I don't have that at the moment. What I have is the first 3 seasons and this final season box set with the final chapters of it. It's great, really mature in its way. It has a lot to give. And I don't want to speak too much about Attack on Titan. It's something that should be experienced first hands-on. If you get through it all, and it's not a lot of episodes, around 80 episodes, plus the final 2 movies to wrap it up, go check out Attack on Titan. You can thank me later. But then we go on to the B's, and you know what character I'm going to show you now. It's Batman. Of course it's Batman. The animated series, the complete animated series, the Bruce Timm one, in Blu-ray form. This one has all the episodes from all 3 seasons. The 2 original seasons of Batman the Animated Series, and then the Batman and Robin animated series. They renamed it, and then they reshaped the animation style after the Bruce Timm Superman series. It also has the 2 movies, the Sub-Zero with Mr. Freeze and the Mask of Phantasm. Really like this series. If you're a Batman fan, you have watched this series. It's a total classic and great animation style that has shaped universes. And a bonus with that, I also have the first season in Swedish with these 2 volumes here. And it's not something that I've revisited too often. I really should, because I've started to watch a lot of more Swedish dub now. It gives me a whole nother nostalgia feel for all the animated shows that I watched. So that's why I kept these all this time. So maybe, who knows, next summer. Sticking with the Batman Bruce Timm universe, we have Batman Beyond, the complete series. This is dark stuff for a kids show. I think everyone says that whenever they talk about Batman Beyond, but it's really mature. Even though it's depicted to kids, the stories are really dark. And that's what keeps me coming back to it, because you find that sort of adult cinematic story to it, even though it's just a 20-minute animated show. So yeah, Batman Beyond, Terry McGinnis. Can we just get that live action movie, please? Now it's gonna be time for me to just dig through this and see if I can keep this alphabetical. Great British show, Blackadder. Rowan Atkinson at his best. Blackadder is just social satire through the years. He is reincarnated, and even though his status gets lower and lower for each reincarnation through the times, he gets more intelligent, I would say, and his characters gets more, let's see here, what's the word? Cunning. Yeah, that's one. Cunning as a fox. And of course, Baldric and all the other lovely characters. You gotta have some comedy in your collection. I mean, it can't all be just serious stuff all the time. Here's another series that I showed you recently, and that I've almost to this day completed in the Swedish dub format, is Beyblade. It's an anime series that I followed since I was like 10 or 11 years old, and almost picked them all up now. We didn't get a full release of the season 1 in Sweden, but we got half of the first season, I think, here, and I got what I got, and I'm happy with it. Just a pure nostalgia trip at this point. It's the thrill of a hunt with collecting all of these. My table is going to swivel at some point in this video, it feels like, so I'm going to have to move this soon. And then we jump into our Ds, because I don't think I have any on C. So, Digimon, The Adventure, Season 1 and Season 2. And Season 1, I recently rewatched in the Swedish dub, and this is not bad, but this is the English dub, but that works also. It's a series that I always come back to every 3 years or so. If you compare this to Pokemon, we will have a discussion, you and I. Digimon, I think, is so superior to Pokemon. It's just that it's not as good on its marketing as Pokemon. And yeah, Season 2, it's all... The main difference that I like about Digimon is that the characters themselves actually grow up within the timeline of the series. It basically takes place in between the 2000s and 2012. I think the movies go that far. So yeah, Digimon and Season 1 and 2. I used to have Season 2 and 3, or what am I saying? I used to have Season 3 and 4, but never got back to them. Now I'm going to show you a huge one that I missed one on the A category. That is Arcane. Arcane is something that got introduced to me by my girlfriend. She plays League of Legends. I've never played League of Legends, but I'm all in for a good story, and man, did this deliver. Season 1, it's the greatest. It's the best on Netflix. And Season 2, it's still very, very good. And the animated style of it is one of a kind. You won't see this anywhere else. It's very original, I think. And I just love it. That's why I bought it in the Steelbook edition. And yeah, keeping that forever. Now let's go back to alphabetical here. Let's get some H into this mix. An anime, another anime, High School of the Dead, a 12 episode maxi series, if you would call it. If it was comic books, it would be a maxi series if it's 12 issues. So 12 episode miniseries of anime here. Fun character. I think you call it ecchi. I don't know, whatever, when you animate people like that. But yeah, daring. Now this is something that you should not mess around with or miss out on. And that is Mads Mikkelsen's and Hugh Dancy's Hannibal. This is the best. Season 1 here, I have signed by Mads Mikkelsen. I met him up at a Swedish Comic-Con. Really weird when you meet up one of your favorite actors and then they go ahead and speak your native language to you. He's from Denmark, so Swedish, Denmark, really close with the language skills there. It was really weird, just him greeting me in Swedish. But yeah, really nice guy, really knew how to handle a line in Comic-Con. And yeah, let's see here. Oh, here we have season 1, the one that's signed. And yeah, I just really like what we did with the series. It only had 3 seasons. I really would like them to revive this series because it's great and I want more if I can. Oh, we're just going all over the place today. Here we have a B that I missed out on. The Big Bang Theory. The complete series on DVD. It's something that I've only watched from season 1 to the last episode once, and I mean it took 12 years to come out. I mean more than that, and yeah, but it's something that I've rewatched a lot. But later on, maybe I don't like really how they depict nerds at some points, but I mean it's fun. But I have a better show coming up. This one I bought with my girlfriend, so she really likes it. Pangebygget. You might know it as Faulty Towers, but for me it was always Pangebygget with John Cleese, of course. Classic, something that everyone with a sense of humor should see at least once. Then you'll see it another time because you liked it. And yeah, it's something that's dear to me, to my childhood, because this was introduced to me by my father. So, and we have the same sense of humor. Not at all. And yeah, it's great. And John Cleese's best work, in my opinion. Okay, I'm gonna show you one more TV show that I think is definitely better than The Big Bang Theory. And that is the soon to be revived, or whenever this video comes out, maybe it has been, Scrubs. This is season 1 to 9. Let's forget about season 9 and just enjoy Scrubs for what it is, with that ending and everything. This is my all-time favorite soap opera show, drama, comedy. It doesn't have the laugh track. That is what I found that I really liked about it, because it's simply sure about itself, about the humor and everything lands. It's the perfect mix-up between drama and comedy, in my opinion. I mean, you get 15 minutes of comedy, and then last 5 minutes really gets you and hooks you each and every time. And yeah, this is gonna stay. And I'm really happy to hear about the revival of the show. I'm really looking forward to it. Then we're gonna go back to the Bruce Timm animated universe. So here we have Superman, the animated series. I think this is the 3rd series that I picked up after Batman animated series and Batman Beyond. This is probably the best rendition of Superman, actually. If we even count in some of the movies. I haven't rewatched the Christopher Reeve Superman movie in a long while, but I still think that with the episodes and everything that you get to see with this Superman, it's pretty damn accurate for the character. Of course, it goes along with a huge marathon of just watching all of Bruce Timm's work. And with that work, we also have his Justice League series and movie. Season 1 Of course, childhood, all that, and season 2. I'm so glad that I got a hold of these. I never thought that we would have a region 2 printing almost of these series, but they always come out region 1, which is of course America, North America, and Justice League Unlimited, the whole complete series here. And then they wrapped it up, or sort of wrapped it up with Justice League versus Fatal 5, which sort of lends some of the story material from a Jeff Johns, Mark Waid story from the JSA. Really nice just to rewatch all of this material all in one go. It's just a very, very rich universe. A close second to that universe is the Young Justice universe. And that is season 1. Also got season 2, which is only called Invasion here. And also season 3. We have a 4th season, but it hasn't been collected or released in Blu-ray. So I really hope we see that one day. But until then, I have to settle for this. Then we have material from that wonderful, wonderful time when Disney was releasing steelbook editions from both Marvel and Star Wars TV shows from Disney Plus. And yeah, I jumped on every single one of them. The first one is The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is of course the story that bridges from Avengers Endgame up until Captain America Brave New World, and the story about Sam Wilson here and Bucky Barnes, and as well as all the side characters that they involve with. I mean, it doesn't have the strongest villain character maybe, but I really like the bonding experience that Bucky and Sam has in this one, and as well as the protagonist for the new Captain America. This is one that I should have rewatched this Christmas, the Hawkeye series with Jeremy Renner, of course, and Haley Steinfeld. Really good one. It's of course has some cameos, and they're bridging some of the Netflix material with the Disney Marvel universe here again. So of course patching stuff up and trying to mix it up. Really good, and it takes place in the holidays. And if you like what Jeremy Renner made with that character, I think you'll enjoy Haley Steinfeld's Kate Bishop even more. And then we have one of a few, it's the only one, it's the only Marvel Disney Plus show that got 2 seasons, Loki. This is probably the greatest one out of all the series that they made for Disney Plus so far, but I think this is very hard to beat. I love it. I love what we did with the character, like so many others, and I really hope that we get to see him do Loki again. And then we have Moon Knight, Oscar Isaac. I love that actor. I'll watch anything that he does. And Moon Knight is a character that I'm not very particularly familiar with, but for what they did with it, I mean, they introduced me so I can understand the character better. I don't know for you guys that has the lexicon that is the comic books, but yeah, really good performance, I think. Unless it's at least entertaining for me. Really like what they did with the artwork on this one. And then last but not least, for the Marvel Steelbooks, WandaVision. This is, of course, the first Marvel Disney Plus series that they came out with, and really got people getting back into their seats again and watching a new episode week per week. I mean, that is not something with streaming nowadays. You get a whole full season right away and then binge watch it. It's really nice that you actually get to stretch that out if you want to, and you have the will to come back and give it a chance. I, for one, really liked the WandaVision mystery and everything. Maybe it didn't have all the twists and endings that we thought it would have, but at least, I mean, it continues on and I think we'll see Wanda again someday. Then next up we have, of course, the Star Wars editions that Disney Plus released. First one, Obi-Wan Kenobi, the complete series, so it doesn't say season 1, so maybe we will not get a season 2. I would really like to see a live action face-off between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul, but at least we got the Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader again. Really like the performance. I'm glad that they both came back to their separate parts, because yeah, of course, I love Star Wars. I haven't watched everything when it comes to all the miniseries and animated TV shows, but the live action stuff, pretty much everything. Not the Christmas special. And then we have Andor, season 1. God forbid if we don't get season 2 in the same format, because I need to have this if I were to ever unsubscribe to the service. So yeah, if you haven't watched Andor, you really should. It is just as great as everyone says it is, so yeah. Really talking a lot about all these TV shows, and we have a lot to go through. It's probably gonna be 2 hour long. Let's see here, Mandalorian, season 1, season 2, and of course, season 3. First 2 seasons, highly recommend. And yeah, of course, I bought season 3 because completionist, and I'm gonna rewatch it sometime. I've rewatched the first 2 seasons. I have done that, but yeah, it's great. We're gonna get a movie out of it instead of a 4th season. We'll see what we'll do with that. And then one more for Star Wars. We have Ahsoka, season 1, and yeah. So we're gonna get a season 2. They are filming it, or they have completed filming season 2. Quite a cliffhanger. I mean, stranded and all of that. But yeah, we'll see where they go with it, I guess. So we'll get more shows, but will we get more Steelbook editions? And then another Steelbook, but from another universe, the DC universe, the Matt Reeves Batman universe. The Penguin with Colin Farrell, his greatest performance probably ever. Got all of those awards, so yeah. And half the time I didn't even notice that it was Colin behind the makeup. This series is not going to be in alphabetical order because I'm going to go back to some animated shows, but we have Westworld, seasons 1 to 4. I am one of those people that love Westworld and would love for it to come back. I need my 5th season. If I can't get my 5th season, I'll settle for a book, a miniseries, or just a movie, maybe, if we can get all the actors back, just to wrap this up, because there was an idea here. There was an idea to make this a perfect loop. They set it all up with season 4. I think they knew what they wanted to do. People are gonna say that they didn't know what to do with season 3, but I really enjoyed this. And to not know how it should end or could end, it's gonna dig into my mind if I start thinking about it again. Let's check out some other stuff so I can get my head out of this one. Another animated show that I've almost completed, Sonic X. This is something from my childhood. So these are DVDs that's printed in Sweden, so it's a Swedish dub on them all. I'm just gonna showcase first one here. This has taken a lot of time to actually get a hold of, because, I mean, they're like 15 years old. They don't print these anymore, so yeah. The thrill of the hunt and everything that I mentioned with the Beyblade ones. It's fun to have nostalgia again. I mean, they don't take up that much space. I'm saying that now, but it takes up the whole table. Another nostalgic series, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 2003. This is almost completed. Just 2 more volumes of this, and I have them all. A lot of the later ones I haven't even watched in ever, I think. Not even with the normal English dub. So yeah, the later half didn't have as many printings, but yeah, it'll just take a little while longer to finish that off. And another series, and almost completed, just one more volume, and then it's completed. Transformers Armada. This is my Transformers that got me into the franchise. It's yeah, it was right there in between Beyblade and Yu-Gi-Oh! It's almost all completed. I have 10 first volumes here, repackaged in new DVD cases and everything, so if they feel fresh. That's something you can do if you're going after these secondhand and everything. Just repackage them into your own ones or own store-bought cases. It's real nice. You get away all the junk and scratches and all that. And one more series to go with these Swedish nostalgic dubbed series. And I think I mentioned it. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! Did I mention minimalist in the beginning of this video? I must have been mistaken. Because here we have almost 15 volumes of Yu-Gi-Oh! And we've only 3 episodes per volume at that. Whatever makes you happy, right? It's everywhere now. Gonna have to clean this up. And yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh! It's always been with me. I mean, I read the manga and everything, watched the anime. The anime came first, I think, into my life. And yeah, it's just pure fun. And yeah, let's see here. I have one more show to show you. And that is the Spider-Man animated series. And this one, Swedish dubbed, at least the first season. The later ones just has the English dub. You have the English dub overall on all 5 seasons, of course. And it is also signed by the voice actor, the Swedish voice actor for Kingpin. And he has sadly passed away during COVID. But yeah, I really enjoy this series. Of course, this is probably the best rendition of Spider-Man as well, if you don't count maybe the Spectacular Spider-Man animated series. But this, of course, came out around the same time as the Batman animated series, so it shaped my childhood. And here we are with all of this. With that, let's jump into all of the movies. Okay, so for the movies, I was thinking about trying to do my best now with the alphabetical order, but I'll start off with just the box sets that I have, just to get them sort of out of the way. It's a theme to it, you're gonna see. So the first one is my only horror thriller sort of movies, and that's the original 7 Saw movies. And this one is signed by Tobin Bell when he was at, I think it was the Sci-Fi Fair, not the Comic-Con that he visited, but yeah, met him, and a really nice man. He signed the box set for me with for Joakim, with good wishes from Tobin Bell, yeah, and Jigsaw. Yeah, this one that I've returned to several times. I know it's gore, it's blood and all of that, but it's really the twist endings that really gets to me, and it feels like they really tried to make a story out of this one. It's always a story that sells me when it comes to a horror flick or a thriller. I don't necessarily just want to be jump scared all the time. So yeah, got that one. And then we have one of the best things that Marvel has released. And that is these Cinematic Universe box sets. This is simply Phase 1, containing the whole first Phase 1, 6 movies. And it's in Blu-ray, at least the first ones. And yeah, I just really like the design of what they did with this box. And yeah, lots of extra stuff and material like posters and all of that within them. I'm not going to take that out, but it just shows that it's bit more taken care of. I don't know, I really like this. This first one, of course, has the Tesseract on it, and yeah, you're gonna see. There's more. They did the same thing with Phase 2. So of course this has the 6 or 7 movies that made up that phase. Then we also have Phase 3, Part 1. So as you might remember, Phase 3 was such a long event in between the Avengers movies that makes up the phases. Not really what we're going as for rules now, but here we have Phase 3 Part 2, concluding that. I mean, this is really nice, just having these. And sadly, they haven't discontinued it. I mean, we have finished off Phase 4 and 5 now, I think. Or are we in the middle of Phase 5? Anyways, maybe once they've finished off Phase 6, they'll get back into making these, because this is a really nice way, I think, to collect the series in. I mean, I don't necessarily want to buy each and every movie individually, which I'm now gonna disprove myself by showing you the following movies that came after this. So this is as long as I got when it came to all of the movies that came out after Endgame. So I stuck with Black Widow. I picked up Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings, picked up Eternals, and of course, I'm gonna pick up Spider-Man No Way Home, of course. What followed was Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness, which didn't have a lot of multiverse in it. They made it sound like they were gonna visit a whole lot of more than they did. 4, Love and Thunder. Yeah, I got it. It was very cheap, let me tell you, even for a 4K version. Wakanda Forever. I really like this movie, I really do. And then we have Ant-Man Quantumania. What could have been? I mean, don't know. I mean, being defeated by Ant-Man and everything, I mean, that sort of set the stakes for being an Avengers villain overall. And last movie that I picked out of Marvel is The Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And yeah, of course we have like 4 or 5 movies now after this, at least 4. Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, the Captain America one, and Falcon? No? Captain America, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, The Marvels. Oh my god. Okay, so we'll see whenever they make a box set out of these ones. Maybe I'll get caught up. But now I'm gonna go alphabetical. So here we have Aquaman. So we go into the DC universe. Jason Momoa. I like what they did with the character and what they did with this movie. It really reminded me of the writing of Jeff Johns in the New 52 Omnibus. It was the biggest movie for the DCU at the time. So yeah, and then we go into our Bs and Batman. This one collects 5 movies inside it, and I've had several other collected editions of Batman before, but this one collects The Mystery of the Batwoman, Batman Bad Blood, not the greatest ones, but the Batman Under the Red Hood and Batman Year One are the ones that I keep this one for. It also has Batman Gotham Knights, which they say takes place in between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, but I think that was just a pitch they said in order to make it. We have that one, and keeping on with Batman, we have, of course, the Christopher Nolan trilogy. Batman Begins, and rewatched that recently, and The Dark Knight. Gonna rewatch soon, really should. And of course, The Dark Knight Rises is gonna follow. So, say what you will about this trilogy, we will always have it. We will always be grateful for it. I hope so. But this one, this is the Batman universe for me. The Matt Reeves Batman Detective Universe. Oops. It's gonna stand on its own. I mean that in many ways. And yeah, I really like it. I buy everything that can help me dive into this universe even more. I have the art book of it, the Riddler Year One story written by Paul Dano. I just love this. And of course the Penguin, the series that followed this one, to bridge it over to whenever Batman Part 2 comes out in like 2 or 3 years. But I'll be there. I'll be waiting faithfully. And then we have another one, Batman v Superman, the theatrical version. If you're gonna judge this movie, then make sure to watch the theatrical version first. That would give it an fair advantage, I would say. But of course, people have their preferences as well. So, but yeah, I really like what they did with this. Then we have our Ds, going into Ds. Deadpool and Deadpool 2. The super duper cut. I don't know which, I think I actually prefer the theatrical cut for Deadpool. And I don't have Deadpool 3, not yet, but it's coming. Oh, I forgot that when I was trying to remember all the movies. But yeah, Ryan Reynolds, perfect role for that guy. And then we got some anime again. These are movies. So this is Digimon, the Digimon Adventure Try movie series. So each movie is about 2 hours, and they keep on continuing after season 2 in between some events, because you do have a like final goodbye saying in season 2 for all of these characters. This takes place in between that. As I said, what I really like about Digimon is that the main characters actually do grow and get older, and they learn stuff. Another thing that I really like about Digimon just overall is that they have just one Digimon companion, not pet, not like Pokemon where they just see them as animals, partners. I mean, in Digimon, they're pure partners. They can communicate with not just their name, but actual speaking lines. I think that's an advantage for Digimon. And yeah, final one here. And the Digimon Try movies, they have their flaws as well within the series, but then they sort of repaired some of that damage, or not really damage, but they did release the Digimon Adventure Last Evolution movie, and then it also followed with Digimon Adventure 002, The Beginning. And yeah, the Last Evolution is the better one of them, but I'm glad to have both. Another in the category D, but not as D in series, alphabetical, because this is Dune. Part 1 and Part 2. Part 2 is in Steelbook Edition. If I could go back, I would pick up a Steelbook Edition of Part 1 as well. This is really great. It's so great that when I watched it the first and second time, I went back and picked up the novels as well, because I just wanted to know more about this universe and where they were heading with this first movie. I had finished off the first book that is captured by these first 2 movies before the second one came out, so I knew how it would end and everything, but I'm really glad that I dwelled into this universe, having read the 6 Frank Herbert books. It really took some time, but I'm still very glad that I did it. And yeah, I cannot wait for Dune Part 3, of course. Another DC film, one of the later ones, The Flash, Steelbook Edition. I really like this version just because of the Batcave and everything and the design on that. And yeah, I think this is a good movie. Stab me. I don't know. I really like the story overall. It feels like the ending, of course, could be a little less comedic and everything, but I mean, whatever they were gonna do with this movie, I think they went in and poked around on it maybe a little too much for that ending. But yeah, for what it is, I enjoy it whenever I watched it. Then we have a phenomenal one, Hacksaw Ridge, one, if not the only wartime movie that I have in my collection. And this one I've rewatched several times. Andrew Garfield, and one of his best performances like ever. And of course, the Amazing Spider-Man movies is the movies that got my eyes open for him as an actor, and then discovered all the other parts that he has taken on. Truly one of his best movies. And then we go into our H's, and that means Harry Potter. So I have the whole Harry Potter saga in 4K, and it took some time, but yeah, it's completed now. And looking back at it, I've always preferred the Chamber of Secrets and the Philosopher's Stone out of all of the movies. I know everyone says Azkaban whenever you ask them about their favorite Harry Potter movie, but I don't know. The first one has a whole different feel to it. I feel that they're too Americanized almost when it comes to the later ones. Much more jokey and don't capture what I felt, how the books interpreted some of the characters or the mood or the atmosphere. I don't think I'm the only one here. And let's not get into whatever they're gonna do with the upcoming HBO or whatever that's gonna land on now, the new live action Harry Potter TV show that is. But yeah, still got him. This was one of the best watches ever. This was one of the first movies that I watched with my girlfriend as well. Joker by Joakim Phoenix and Robert De Niro. What's there to say about this? You can rewatch it as many times as you want. You find stuff always. Check out some theories and everything. And there's a countdown I know I'm looking for now every time that I rewatch this. And yeah, it's just great satire movie, I think. And I still haven't picked up the second one, but we'll see if I ever do that. Then we have Zack Snyder's Justice League, the, of course, 4-hour version of Justice League. As soon as they announced that we were getting this, I sold off the Joss Whedon one, just like that. And yeah, I haven't rewatched this in a little while, but I should do so, because I have rewatched the Marvel ones, so now to equal the scales, depending on how you measure those scales, I should rewatch the DC movies. And we have Hugh Jackman's Logan. This is the one and only X-Men related movie that I have in 4K, and been looking up what else they have of the older movies, but then again I start to think about Dark Phoenix and how I have never watched that movie without falling asleep. That is not the case with Logan, of course. This is the greatest work. It even has the black and white edition, which I've never watched, but maybe I'll do that for the next watch. And then we have DC again with Man of Steel. I'm never gonna forgive them for replacing Henry Cavill, probably, but I'm gonna have to live with it. But I'll never forgive them. This is my Superman. This is I know what I mean. Not everyone saw what they want to do with the character, but I believe I did. I can't share it because it's a matter of perspective. But yeah, I really like this movie. I like all of that Scott Snyder. I'm not one of those hecklers on the internet, but I really like what Scott Snyder did to these movies. Did I say Scott Snyder? I mean Zack Snyder. And then we have another Steelbook, the Christopher Nolan Oppenheimer. This one I liked so much that I bought the special edition. So it has a little extra material with like cards and everything from the series. And a sort of Unleashing Oppenheimer, abridged look inside Christopher Nolan's explosive atomic age thriller. So yeah, a little book pamphlet there. And of course, the Steelbook itself. And I've watched this movie 3 times now, with counting with the Cinemad, or the time I watched it in the theater. And yeah, I think next to Interstellar, it's probably one of his best movies. I really like it. So I cleaned up the desk now for the final movies that I'm going to show you. And first off, we have a real banger, RoboCop, the original trilogy RoboCop. So if you haven't heard about RoboCop, I mean, what can I say? Sci-fi, future, Detroit, in shambles and everything. The first RoboCop, or the first 2, I can really recommend to you actually. Not the third one. But yeah, this one is probably one of my most favorite movies. And it's one that, it's a good, just chill out movie. I mean, it's political and social satire. We see it from the perspective of one of the police victims, Alex Murphy, which is turned into a literal RoboCop. I mean, it sounds silly with that title, but if you've checked it out, you know what I'm talking about. And it's just great costume design. And yeah, it stands the test of time for me. That's why I really like it. And then we dive into Star Wars movies. And yeah, I have them all, or the ones I know about. So of course, The Phantom Menace, all of them, 4K. So yeah, got that one, and take it for as it is. It has one of the best John Williams music, you can't deny that. And I even think that the Clone Wars, or the Attack of the Clones, also has one of the greater scores that John Williams wrote. Especially that Anakin and Padme theme. But then we have Revenge of the Sith. This is the first movie that I ever watched in theaters of Star Wars. And together with my dad and my brother, Memory for Life, of course, and it was the first movie that really bridged the 2 trilogies. And now, of course, we have a lot of other movies that bridges or sort of sticks in between gaps of the original story, of course, The New Hope, or A New Hope. This one I've seen with a live orchestra that's played the soundtrack behind the movie. That was really special. And something, if that opportunity ever comes up to you, I highly recommend it. It makes the experience of the movie very special. We have Empire Strikes Back, of course. And yeah, that was my favorite until Rogue One. And Return of the Jedi. And say what you will about the J.J. Abrams movies, but I like Episode 7. I like Episode 7. Now, Episode 8. This... No. I even like this better than Episode 8. I can take more minutes out of The Rise of Skywalker that I like than The Last Jedi. And even saying that loud sounds crazy, I know, but that's how I feel. And Solo, it's okay, it's good. And I like the main actor that plays Solo. I forget his name, but he was really good in this one, and I liked him in Oppenheimer. And he was also in that Riri Williams Disney plus Marvel TV show, Ironheart. And then, last but not least, Rogue One, of course. Probably the best Star Wars movie out right now. And of course, another one with Mads Mikkelsen as well. And then we have Shazam. So another DC movie. I did have the sequel, but I don't think that it holds up. So I'm sticking with the first Shazam movie. That's the one that I really like and I rewatched several times. And then we have the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy. And yeah, it's the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy. What more can I say? I mean, I've rewatched, of course, Spider-Man 2 more times than any of the other ones. So not necessarily have I rewatched every one of them equally. But it's really nice. And I mean, with all the crossovers and the multiverse now, I mean, all of these movies are more relevant to each other. I mean, No Way Home. And of course, the Andrew Garfield ones, the Amazing Spider-Man. I don't know if I should pick between having a fourth Tobey Maguire movie or a third Andrew Garfield movie. I would probably go with a third Andrew Garfield movie. But we got No Way Home, and we're hopefully gonna see them in future Avengers movie. Hopefully. And then I think these are the last Spider-Man movies. We have Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse. And highly awaiting that last movie. Cannot wait. This is a great depiction of what Spider-Man is. I mean, as well as it comes to the multiverse aspect of it. I mean, I don't know if you prefer just one Spider-Man, but ever since Dan Slott wrote that, the Spider-Verse miniseries or event, I've been all for this. And this is a 10 out of 10 movie out of these two. Love the soundtrack on it, bought it on vinyl even. So good, so good. Another franchise, one that I haven't dwelled too deep into. I mean, I showed you some Sonic movies, and here's the live action one. Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I have watched the third one, but I haven't gotten it on 4K yet. But I don't know how long we're gonna go with this one. And with Jim Carrey stepping out from the third one or after the third one, I don't know if it's gonna be the same, because let's face it, I watch these movies because of Jim Carrey. Marston is good also, but yeah, it's Jim Carrey that really sells me on these ones. I thought we were done with DC, but we still have Suicide Squad. This is an extended cut. It has like 10 more minutes, or not even that. It has some extra scene with Margot Robbie and Jared Leto, but other than that, I need my air cut. I need the director's cut from this. I have a second Suicide Squad as well, and of course James Gunn and everything. The James Gunn formula, it works. It usually works when he works with an ensemble like this. And Peacemaker, of course, the TV series it's great. I can't deny that. Here's a Swedish one, a Swedish movie that got in here, the Studentfesten, the student party. You know, final exams, or not the exam, the party after everything, the graduation party. That's what it would be translated to. It's one of the few comedies that I have in my collection, and one that I get back into every now and then. I mean, I get a good laugh out of this one. So yeah, one of the few Swedish movies on Blu-ray and such. Then we have it's not really Michael Bay, right? But I mean, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were, I mean, he was a producer on it, right? Whatever, I really like these movies. I think they encapsulate the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle brothers all fine. I mean, it's the designs, right? That's what people were talking about when these came out. But I mean, if you look past that, the personalities of each individual turtles, they nailed that. So yeah, have those. And then after that, we have the Transformers movies, 4K. And these ones, I've lost count on how many times I've rewatched these. And I mean, 2007, that goes a long way back. And with 7 movies, 8 if you count Transformers 1, which is sadly not going to get a sequel, from what I hear. I really would have watched that sequel. But there are Transformers news out there that maybe Michael Bay will return to make the 8th live action movie, and maybe even that Shia LaBeouf would come back. These are all rumors, like right now, but I for one would really like to see that someday. Bumblebee, first soft reboot of the series. It's really good. Halfway through it, I forget that it's a movie about aliens and robots and everything. And then Transformers Rise of the Beasts, which is, of course, the latest one. So we'll see whatever they'll make of the next Transformers movie, because it doesn't sound like it's going to be a team-up movie anymore, if you know what I mean. If you've seen The Rise of the Beasts, you know what I mean. And then we have, let's see here, Christopher Nolan again, Tenet. This I watched in movies when it came out. Soundtrack, as everyone says, complained about. The sound mix was a bit odd, but I never saw it like that, and I really, really enjoyed it. And it's like they say in the movie, don't try to understand it, just feel it. And so I did that. But I really like when a movie sort of makes you think, and Transformers, turn your brain off, enjoy. Tenet, not so much. You need to count out how all of this works together with all the scenes, what's backwards, what's forwards, and all of that. I don't know, I really liked this one. Like all Christopher Nolan, it always has something to do with time, right? That's the main theme of every movie, at least with the sci-fi ones. And then we have Tom Hardy, Venom. I have the first one, and Let There Be Carnage. And we'll see if I get the third one. The third one was okay. We saw a lot of symbiotes, but that doesn't necessarily buy you into a good story, does it? But the first one and the second one, I like. Of course, would have liked to see more Carnage, the character, but we take what we can get. And that's probably the result of why I have many of these, that I take what I can get. Then we have V for Vendetta. I recently spoke about this in a graphic novel collection update that I've really been in the mood to reread V for Vendetta and rewatch the movie, because it's very close to the source material by Alan Moore. And I mean, with these political times and everything, I mean, introduce a little anarchy. That's a Dark Knight quote, though. I digress. Watchmen, Scott Snyder's best work, probably. Maybe 300 is the only one that can top this. But yeah, this is the ultimate cut, so it's about 3.5 hours with the animated cuts and everything. Whenever the character that reads the comic book series, we go into an animated short clip in between the events of the Watchmen's movie. Of course, it has a different ending, but I still feel that it works if you were to watch this movie and then just change that ending, look it up, how the graphic novel ends, and then you can watch the HBO Watchmen series and you'll have a good time. And then, last but not least, Wonder Woman. So we're ending on top. This is a really good movie. Let's not speak about Wonder Woman 1984. I do not have that anymore. So I just mentioned that. But this is a really good movie. Loved it in the cinema. Each and every time I rewatch it, perfect. I get chills down my spine every time I watch that war scene when she goes out of the trenches. So this has been great sharing with you all the movies and TV series that I got. I know I spoke a lot about minimalism in the beginning, but this really is something that gives me joy. And even though that it takes up a lot of space, I mean, it takes up that cabinet over there and some hay boxes. But in the end, when it comes to streaming versus physical media, I'm really glad to always have these because I'm reassured that I can rewatch them anytime, and not to even mention all the special and extra material that comes with each and every one of these. And yeah, so that makes me really happy to have. And thank you so much for watching this video, however long this is. And yeah, I'm gonna clean up this now and cut together this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope I'll see you in another one. Till then, take care. Bye bye.